Got 8:30 on the button, so we're going to get rolling to respect everyone's time. I'm sure the lines will continue to fill up here as we progress. But before we get to the meat of tonight's call, which we're super excited, we're super fortunate to have some great guests with us this evening. But before we get there, we just want to run through our typical recognition. We're going to real brief modified version today. First off, we want to shout out the top month to date enrollers. Jared at 15 enrollments this month, still got a couple days left. Michelle, Jamie, Brianna, Sarah, Tara, Martha, and Mary Jean. Great job, everyone. Everyone's expert team builders. You all got a box of free vitamins coming your way. And I think there might actually be more folks approaching 10 yet before the end of the month. So super exciting. It's a great month. Keep up the great work, guys, and the momentum going. Secondly is top Ice Rally individuals. Again, unfortunately, I'm going to keep reiterating it. It's only our 16 PET, but we still want to shout out these top folks through yesterday. Jamie Taylor at 51 points, amazing work. Jared with all those enrollments at 49 points. Mandy 33, Laura 32, Michelle 28, and Melanie 26. You guys are all killing it, running up those points for the Ice Rally competition. And another quick update as well on Isogenics Academy. I know I mentioned last week that it was a virtual event, but it was going to be a paid event. That has changed. It's now a free event, which is amazing. So get your teams organized, organize some watch parties, invite. If you need help inviting, watch Emily Vavra's inviting video that's out on isogenicsbusiness.com. But it's going to be a fantastic event, 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11 a.m. our time. Kathy Cooper's going to run away with it. It's a 4-hour training, and then there's also the 4 1-hour follow-ups that you'll get if you tune into the event. Isogenicslive.com is where that is going to be at. So now we get the opportunity to introduce some friends that we've made. We're so fortunate to call them friends. Amanda and I met Tyler and Zoe. I always forget the years because I'm getting old now. But it was at NYKO, was a Start Give Back event. And we were in Phoenix packing some meals for the underprivileged in the Phoenix area and ended up at the end of a conveyor belt for about 4 hours, 2 hours. That's where we first met and chatted. And we were so blessed to now call them friends and to watch their journey along the way. Both of them, Tyler and Zoe, started out, they're originally from Ohio. They've since relocated to Tampa just recently within the last 6 months. Zoe, her background was a registered nurse, so she's got experience in the medical field, and Tyler was an engineer, a civil engineer. Both of them have since left their corporate careers and are pursuing Isogenics full-time. As you see on the screen here, Tyler's a 3-star Golden Circle Start 1000, Zoe 2-star, and both of them are Start top 25 income earners under the age of 25. So they know what they're talking about. They have a lot of experience. They're growing thriving businesses. Right now, they're primarily growing their thriving teams in Ohio, Florida, and Taiwan, which is awesome. Excited for them to expand into that international market. I know Tyler, I've seen lots of photos and videos from him spending a lot of time in Taiwan, which is a really, really neat opportunity. So Amanda and I had the opportunity to get together with them when we were hanging out in Florida over the last couple weeks. It was really fun to see them, and they brought some of their amazing team members, and it was just so inspiring for us to watch the lifestyles that Tyler, Zoe, and their team are building for themselves and the passion that they have for this opportunity and this business model and this company. So with that, we want to introduce and bring on the line with us Tyler and Zoe. Welcome, guys. Thanks so much for taking time out of your night tonight to spend time with us.
Hey, thank you, guys. I think that that when we met you guys, that was Zoe's first event.
Yeah, it was.
That was my second event, and at that point in our journey, like neither of us was full time, and I just remember Matt, like specifically talking with you, like you really inspired me, just having someone that was further along their journey. And I think with your background as an accountant and mine as an engineer, we're nerdy math guys. Like, hey, if you can do this, to your level of success, maybe I can too. So it's just been a real honor to get to know you guys over the last few years, and super excited to help share with your team tonight.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again.
Thank you.
We would love, actually, if you guys wouldn't mind just starting out with your stories, both of you individually and how you're working together today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll tell it chronologically. So I'll start, and I'll bring Zoe in with her story, because obviously they interweave a lot. But
Yeah.
I grew up around direct sales. I know it's something you want me to talk about later. I didn't really grow up around network marketing like this. It was very different. I saw my mom like buying products and selling it at craft shows and fairs, for cash. So that was my perception of this as well, although this is true network marketing and very different. But my mom joined Isagenix when I was 18, and my introduction was came home one day from football workout, and all my GNC stuff was in the trash, replaced with Isagenix, and I was mad about it, and didn't want to use it, and I was kind of anti Isagenix for a little bit there, and went to school, played football, studied engineering, and got out of school and started that career, and just realized that I got into personal development and reading books. I realized there was more to life than just settling for a paycheck. And that's what I was doing as an engineer. I had no passion for it. I wasn't working with people that had passion for it. I just wasn't happy, and I couldn't imagine doing it for 40 years. And once, as all of you know that are into personal development, that are into reading business books and stuff like that, like once you see the other side, you can't go back. And once I saw what was possible, I was like, I got to find a way to live this lifestyle of location independence, of time freedom, of financial freedom. And although Isagenix was right in my face the whole time, I wasn't looking at it. I looked into a lot of things. I tried. I mean, Zoe and I were talking about the other day, all the things that I've tried and failed, because Zoe was dating me at this time. And, you freelance on Upwork to Amazon Business to Airbnb to car stuff, like all kinds of stuff, and just couldn't get anything to work. And finally went to New Year's kickoff. This was the year before I met you guys. And the shift for me was seeing people my age succeeding, people that I could relate to. And really up to that point, I had no idea the level of success my mom was having, because previously it was a hobby she did as a stay-at-home mom for some extra cash. And to see her, start to create an income with this, and then also see young people doing it. One of the lessons I had learned in personal development was when you find somebody that has what you want, you just listen to them and you implement everything they say fast. And I realized that there were so many people in this company that had what I wanted. So I implemented fast and got to work. And then, Zoe obviously caught the vision a little bit later.
Yeah, I wasn't open to it at all. I think my first words when Tyler introduced this to me were like, I don't want your pyramid scheme shakes, but I really told him. The only reason I even paid attention really is because of Tyler's mom, Cindy. So at the time when I really started to pay attention, I was a senior in nursing school at the University of Cincinnati in Ohio. I had started to get really bad migraines. I would get about 10 episodes per month is what they told me. I had to see a neurologist, was put on 2 prescription drugs. And I was pretty desperate because I was 22 and on some really hardcore drugs. And I was like, this sucks. Like, this can't be the rest of my life. And so that's when Cindy kind of approached me. She was really, really sweet about it. And I just honestly got started for the products. And obviously you guys know we do not cure or treat diseases. We're not FDA approved, but when you put great nutrition in your body, you start to see fantastic results. And I'm just a testament to that. Just using the products, I started to notice my migraines went away. I was able to come off prescription drug medications. I lost 13 pounds of inflammation and toxins. And I went off to graduate, become a nurse. I worked in the neuroscience ICU at Ohio State University, and really people just were wondering why I seemed like I was filled with sunshine all the time. They were like, we're on night shift, we're in the ICU, life sucks here. Why are you so happy? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm drinking this stuff, like I feel incredible. And really just by me sharing my story, sharing what I was using just casually with Isagenix, it started to become a accidental income is what I tell people. It started off with nurses on my unit, turned to me going to social media. Next thing we know, Tyler and I have earned a free cruise through the, what was that called? Championship Cruise Challenge. And that while we were on the cruise ship, I had earned enough money through Isagenix to pay off my student loan debt completely. And that was 11 months after me leaving my nursing or leaving college. And that next month, Tyler was matching his income with engineering through Isagenix part-time. And I was like, shoot, like I need to leave my job too. So that's kind of where I started to really catch the vision. And both of us, by September 2018, I was a nurse for 13 months. I had quit my job as a nurse. Tyler and I went to Italy for 3 weeks. Came home, we're like, wow, we like to travel. And that's when we really started to see what this could do for us long term.
That's awesome. I love it. So I guess where I want to go next is, Tyler, you mentioned that, well, obviously we know that you grew up in the network marketing family or the direct sales family. So we have a lot of individuals on our team that are, kind of at our same stage of life where we have a lot of kids that are growing up in our families that we're bringing up in the network marketing industry. So can you kind of share your perspective growing up in the network marketing industry and what that was like for you to help us, tweak or create a similar positive experience for our kids growing up in network marketing as well?
Definitely. So when I was 7, I believe, my family, 6 years old, my family moved from one part of Ohio to a very rural part of Ohio. And that's when my mom started her first real direct sales opportunity. Like a lot of moms, she had been exposed to companies and dabbled before, but the first time she really treated it like a business was when I was about 7 years old. And she was selling like gourmet food. It was a company called Tastefully Simple. Yeah. And, you might know it in Minnesota, that's where the headquarters are.
Yeah.
So nothing like what we have here. I think they maybe got paid on like a generation or two, and there was a little bit of team building, but the main source of income was hard earned, and that was by her inventorying tons and tons and tons of product in our basement, and then loading it up, lugging it to fairs, craft shows, all those kind of things. And my role in that, as her only son, was to help her break down the boxes, load all the things up, unload all the things, break down the things, load all the things. So I didn't like Tastefully Simple that much. It was a chore for me as a kid growing up. And I have a big scar on my hand, which you probably can't see. I used to have to cut open all the boxes. And one time I stabbed myself with a razor and just sliced my hand open. So that was my, feelings about it. And all of that, she loved it. And I think my dad loved it because she loved it, but there wasn't really much income from it. At her very, very end, when she had finally developed all the skills after 10 years of arduous work, I think she reached about $50,000 a year, which is a good full-time income. But, to tell you what the difference is between that and this, in her first year in Isogenics, with the same exact skills, the same mindset, the same network, she made 6 figures. And, by I think year 3, she was in the 500,000 plus club, crazy, crazy stuff. And, but none of that happened until I was adult and out of the house. So I didn't grow up around Isogenics. I didn't grow up around real network marketing. What I did grow up around that I think impacted me and helped me with this is I grew up around personal development. I grew up around positivity. I grew up around the right mindset. And anybody who's a parent, the greatest gift my parents gave me was the independence to come to my own conclusions about things, but the guidance to think about the world differently than maybe the masses do, so to speak. And I know how much that's serving me during this time. And that's not, I've really worked on myself in the last 3 years since I started this as well. But right now, when everyone's losing their heads, I feel like I have mine. And that's what I really was taught growing up. And that, I think, prepared me for this so that I could have some success quickly once I started it. But she started Isogenics when I was in college. And her initial journey was I wasn't living at home. And I was that kid that I didn't come home my first semester until Christmas break. I didn't want to be home. And I really had no idea what was going on until I went to that first event, and she was, 3 or 4 years in, and I saw her get recognized for 500,000 plus. And I thought it was a joke. I was like, this is not my mom. She went to a community college. She took her 8 years to graduate. She never held a real career. She was a stay-at-home mom. She'll tell you firsthand, her skills maybe aren't the most impressive thing in the world, but I was just stunned when I saw that. And I was like, man, if she can do that, certainly I can create some success with this, So it was just really inspiring to see.
That's awesome. I love it. Independence and the focus on personal growth. So really just modeling for your kids and really modeling for any generation. And it's been fun to watch you guys continue down that personal growth journey. Tyler, I know when we were on the beach in Florida the other week, we had a great conversation about personal growth and what we're both digging into right now, which is awesome. So with that, another segment of our team that's growing, and hopefully we have some of them folks on the call here tonight, is our start group, our younger folks who are just getting started. And maybe Zoe, if we can start with you on this one, what does the start movement, the start group really mean to you guys? And what does it light up inside you to be a part of that group?
Yeah, it's honestly so cool just because I like Tyler, and he normally has this bit where he'll talk about the reason he didn't want to do this business is because he looked at this as a stay-at-home soccer mom business, like for middle-aged women. Because that's what network marketing looked like to him, it was for middle-aged women. And I feel like a lot of people in my generation might have that, feeling. Now that it's kind of popular now, there's a lot of great companies popping up now. Network marketing is really getting its stride. But what I really love about Start is the community aspect of it. My best friends are in Start and they're not on our teams. Like I'm one of my best friends is Chelsea Cepeda. She's like the daughter of the #2 income earners in Isogenics. She's one of my very, very best friends. We talked to Sid Litch, we talked to John Stinkowitz, and like the thing is like we can call these people up, we can bounce ideas off of each other, we can see what's working, what's not working, and it's not like a competitive thing. Like it's really like we all come together for the common purpose of creating a culture of acceptance and positivity and healthy mindsets, healthy bodies, healthy bank accounts. And it's so much fun just because like I know we will be the future of this company. Like I know that me and Tyler and Chelsea and John and Sid, we're all going to be on stage together. We're all going to be buddy, just like how Laura Stevens and Zach Eden and Hayden, Emily Maverick, like they're all like, I know that's going to be us. And the beautiful part is that we get to start this in our 20s and we get to see this company all the way through. And that's the really exciting part. And the people that we're bringing in, attracting people that have a similar, mindset. You got to meet Cody and Sunny and Courtney and a lot of our other team members. It's really cool to be attracting people who have been looking for what we've been looking for, which is really just freedom from, doing life the way our parents did, because most of us don't want to do life the way our parents did. Because I know I didn't think I had a choice, but once I found this community, I was like, wow, wait, I can do whatever I want right now. So I would say that's probably like the coolest part about Start for me.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm going to take a sidestep here in the midst of this question. So Amanda and I were so impressed with, Cody and your whole team that was there on the beach. And I guess the question I want to ask is, where are you connecting with these people? How are you attracting these passionate, fiery, energetic go-getters into your business and what you're building, with your vision?
Yeah, I think it's funny because Cody, Courtney, and Sunny are all people we met in person. We didn't meet them on Bumble. We didn't meet them on Instagram. We didn't meet them on Facebook. We actually met them through workout events. We've been using social media, and I think this is a really great question for Tyler too. But, it's funny because we've been we use social media to make connections, but our community is really built upon having in-person events. And really meeting people in person. I do want to elaborate on that.
Yeah. Well, the first question, what does Start mean to me? Now that you guys aren't in Start anymore, I want out. I don't even want to be part of it.
You didn't have to bring that up.
I don't even know you guys are out. I'm kind of upset now. I think we need to start a movement or something. But but yeah, I think. Well, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to teach a lesson that's been really impactful for me, which is the power of your thoughts and your beliefs. Because people, when you're new to this, you might be on this call right now looking for a result, right? Everybody joins for a result, whether that's a community to be a part of, an extra $1,000 a month, a financial home run like Matt and Amanda have hit, whatever the result is you're looking for, you know what that is. And, Matt and Amanda, the incredible leaders they are, have taught you the actions you need to take to get there, right? Which is really developing a set of habits. We need our actions to be turned into habits so they become automatic. So if you can get your actions into habits, that'll lead to results. And that's where most people stop. Most people stop there and they say, okay, the result is I want to attract more young people, like Matt just said. That's the result I'm looking for. So the actions and the habits I need to develop are connecting with more young people. And that's where people stop in their thought process. But we can take a step further back and peel back the onion a little bit. We will never develop the habit necessary to achieve that result if our beliefs and our thoughts aren't in the right place. So think about, your health, for example. I know for me, as a lifelong athlete, after retiring from college football and that's over, I don't have a coach telling me when to work out anymore. I know the result I want. I know the habit of going to the gym is what I need to do. But if my beliefs aren't right, that I can self-motivate myself to do it, I struggle. And therefore, for years after college football, I struggle with consistency in the gym. Same thing with this. You might be taking actions of connecting with young people, do the habit of doing the right things, and you're not getting the result of attracting these firecracker runners. Whether it's young people or not, you're looking to attract runners, great people that can do big things. why I didn't do that in my first 2 years, besides Zoe. Zoe was the only firecracker runner I had, and she was my girlfriend, so she had to do it. But besides that, I wasn't attracting anybody like that because I had a belief in my head that because of who I was in college, I couldn't attract those kind of people. Because in college, I did just enough to get by. In college, my habits were horrible. In college, I wasn't a good leader. In college, I binge drank every weekend and treated my body like crap. So in my head, why would I be someone that anyone would look up to for advice on their health? Why would I be someone that anybody would look up to for advice in business? In my head, these beliefs, I'm not thinking this consciously, but subconsciously in my head, I'm not worthy of attracting people like that because I'm not that person. And the reason that you hear this over and over again, work harder on yourself and you work on your business, is because if you can reprogram those beliefs, then the actions and the habits will follow. Then you'll attract those people. And I heard that quote a million times at every convention, on every podcast: work harder on yourself and you work on your business. Work harder on yourself and you work on your business. And it never really sunk in until like the 1000th time I heard it, which really means like truly put more energy into growing yourself and you grow the business, and the business becomes a piece of cake. And you can see Matt and Amanda living the dream life, crushing this business. And I spent a day with them and it was a pretty breezy day. You know, we hang out, we do some calls here and there. It should be easy. It shouldn't be a grind. It will be a grind in the beginning, but it should come naturally because your beliefs are on point. So the way I think we attracted those people that you met is we did years of growth on ourselves, which made us the people that those type of people want to join, which is why they joined us. And I wish I could give you a quick fix and help you go out and find the person tomorrow. But if you got to grow into that person, get to work on growing into that person that's worthy of attracting those people.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks, man. Because I love that too, because it's bettering yourself. I mean, it's yes, that those people will come into your life. It's for the larger purpose of, helping yourself and helping those people within this business and this opportunity. But it's in the process taking yourself to a better place as well, and to the next level of leadership, which I absolutely love. So it's a great journey along the way, even though it's not an immediate answer, immediate return. It's still a benefit right out of the gate.
It's all this is. It's all it is, right? I mean, you guys know that more than anybody. Like, you have to grow, and it's so fun. If you can enjoy that process and enjoy becoming a new person and becoming a better version of yourself, that's why it's simple, because that's fun. I love that aspect of this. Every part of it makes you grow, right?
Right.
Finding prospects, getting them started, being a leader, like every single step makes you grow as a person. This business is just a mirror for who you are, which is why it's so exciting to me.
Get outside your comfort zone. Yep. Stay out there, live out there, right? So we're talking about habits. You mentioned habits there. What do your guys' daily habits, your daily actions look like? Where you're at in life right now, having just moved to Paradise in Tampa, Florida, what habits, what do your daily actions look like to build your business?
How about I'll do personal habits. Zoe can do business habits because I think they go hand in hand.
Perfect.
And we're both on the same page with this, but back to the personal piece. Like, again, if you're not on point, the business isn't going to be on point. It's just an extension of you. So in this business, you got to show up as that person who's energetic and magnetic and willing to attract people. And to do that, your energy's got to be on point. And for your energy to be on point, you got to be conscious of your own personal habits. So for me, like, I'm very somewhat rigid with my sleeping habits. Like, I make sure I'm getting the right amount of sleep. I get up every morning at the same time, and I do a morning routine to help me get set up for the day. And I make sure the first hour of the day is dedicated to me. And during that hour, I'm meditating and praying and reading and journaling and learning something new in a book or an audio. And that sets me up for the whole day. And then obviously the health side of things, which we're blessed. I mean, it's pretty easy with Isagenix. Use the products, follow the system, your health will be on point. So if you're sleeping enough, if you're eating enough, and you're growing yourself every day, then the business just becomes an extension of that. Your energy's on point, your head's in the right place, your communication skills are growing because you're working on yourself every day, and the business takes care of itself, which we obviously have habits we need to do for that as well.
Yeah, so habit, like, business-wise, I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Teamzy. It's TEAMZY.com. It's a CRM that really helps you basically keep track. It's something that fell under our laps like 6 months ago. It was created by a really great network marketer, and he needed a way to keep track of prospects. So that's something that we've been really using. It's been a game changer for all of the big leaders on our teams, and really just kind of setting that, making sure that I'm making an X amount of new connections every day. I'm reaching out to X amount of prospects per day, X amount of customers, X amount of associates, and making sure that you have all of those things kind of, done for the day. So that, cause obviously you can't, because the most important things, it's Teamsy. So Tyler can type it in the comments here for you, but.
And the platform is irrelevant.
Yeah.
What all it does is you can do this yourself. And we did this ourselves way before we found it.
Yeah.
It's set your income goal, then reverse engineer that to how many people do I need to enroll per month to get there, and reverse engineer that to, okay, how many people do I need to talk to? And then the software just helps us keep track of it every day. But you should break it down all the way from your income all the way back to how many new people do I need to connect with and share Isogenics with every day. And the software just helps us keep track of that. But you could do it with a spreadsheet and a sticky note. But it's the habit is consistently meeting new people, because we're in network marketing. You got to grow a network, and consistently inviting people to take a look.
If you Google, like we learned a lot of this from Simon Chan. If you Google Simon Chan 35553, he talks about that exact same thing, which is making it's like 3 new connections, 5 invites, 5 follow-ups, 5 is it closes, enrollments, and then like 3
social media.
Oh, posts, social media, yeah. And then okay, I don't know the order, but
whatever.
It's a good starting point for anybody, especially if most of you are part-time. That's where we started, and that's like kind of the key point. Like, you know, you don't have to be full-time in this. A lot of us are probably full-time right now. We're at home, we're working from our computers. That, you know, you don't have to do a lot. You just have to do a little bit every day. And that was the key thing for me. I was working 40 plus hours a week, night shift. I was miserable throughout the week, but I still found a few hours on my off days, like an hour after when I would get home. And I would make sure that I would at least do a little bit every day to grow my business. And that's what allowed me to create $10,000 to pay off my student loan debt in less than a year from me graduating. And that's what we really teach other people. You shouldn't be doing this full time. Like, no one jumps into this full time. Just start doing a little bit each day. And those key things will start to build your business, because what builds your business here in Isogenics is making new connections, inviting people to take a look at Isogenics, and enrolling them. And if you can do those 3 things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you'll be where Amanda and Matt are, and you'll be able to do what you want to do with this business.
And here's the power of, because the whole concept of all of it is consistency. Because you can write down whatever your numbers are, 3,553, 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, doesn't matter. You should be able to work with someone. If you don't know how to do this, work with someone to reverse engineer those numbers, figure them out. But if you're not doing it every day, it doesn't matter. This is an everyday thing. And here's how this shows up in your life. We've been doing this for 3 years now, this consistency of it every day. And there you go through seasons. We've been through seasons where you're consistent for a month and nothing comes. It's like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Zoe's brother, Gunnar, was interested in trying this for a minute. He said, Tyler, can you teach me? Zoe's like, Tyler, teach my brother. I'm like, yeah, sure. We start working. We're consistent. Gunnar quits. But before Gunnar quits, Gunnar enrolls his friend Trent. And Trent's like, Tyler, teach me. Let's run. I'm like, all right. We work with Trent. Trent quits. But before Trent quit, he introduced me to a guy named Cody. And on that 3-way call with Cody, I saw, wow, this guy's amazing. But he wasn't ready to get started. And Trent quit. So I was like, but I stayed consistent every day. I followed up with him. I stayed in touch. 6 months later, Cody enrolled, and Cody's become the fastest growing leader in our team and the best enrollment I've ever had next to Zoe. And that came through, I'm sorry, what's going on here? Let me turn Do Not Disturb on. And that came through consistency. Think about how many times people, you guys have seen it if you've been around for a while, how many times people create some momentum and they quit or they fall off and they have to restart, start and stop. Had I started and stopped during any of that process, I would have missed out on what's been the best leader in my team. So what drives me nuts, and what drives everybody who knows this nuts, is seeing people be so close to that and quitting. So anytime you have that doubt of like, oh my gosh, maybe I should take a week off or a month off, or maybe this isn't right for me, think about what happens if tomorrow I quit and that was the day I would have found my Cody. That was the day I would have found my Matt and Amanda. Your consistency will show up eventually. It's only a matter of time, but only if you're consistent with it. If you start and stop, you're killing yourself.
Yeah, and there's a really great audio. Tyler's actually done a bit. You guys saw him at NYKO, was it 2 years ago? He did a talk about this, but it's rooted in the audio. You can get it on YouTube or you can purchase it, but it's free on YouTube. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. He talks about this because if you guys haven't listened to that, you absolutely need to go do that after this call.
Yeah.
It's an hour, but it talks about consistency, doing a little bit every day, a little bit every day. And there's going to be random things that pop up and distract you and take you away from, really looking at this business, but doing a little bit every day.
Yeah, I love it. The consistency is so key. And there's some other things that you guys said that I really absolutely loved. Tyler, you mentioned it's network marketing is building a network. And Robert Kiyosaki in The Business of the 21st Century really talks about network marketing in your business as an asset. And so many folks get distracted and misperceive network marketing as a sales role, when really it's not about selling at all. It's really about sharing stories and ultimately building a network of people who fall in love with a product line and solutions that can really transform people's lives. So I absolutely love that. And Zoe, you mentioned you don't have to be full-time. I was listening to another Jim Rohn podcast, and he mentioned that it's actually good to be part-time in network marketing, because if you still have a full-time or a part-time career, it's like a natural opportunity to meet new people. It's like a constant flow of folks coming into your business. And it's all about, like you mentioned, the connections, the people to feed into your Teamsy or whatever system that you're using. It's kind of automatic and it's so natural. I absolutely love that. So thanks for sharing that. So we're at 9 o'clock. I want to respect you guys' time, but if we can, please, just one more. If each of you can just mention your top business tips, your top tips to leave us with, that would be awesome.
I'm not ready.
My top tip. I'm gonna try to tie this into what you just said, Matt, about building networks. Quit focusing on who you know and who you can talk to, and start focusing on how networking actually works. Networking actually works not about who you know; it's about who they know, right? So if you're focusing on the lack mentality of I only know this many people, this is who I have to talk to. I'll either find my diamond in the rough here, or I won't. It's going to be tough because you're probably not going to find them there. And I'm sure, I don't know, Matt and Amanda, do you guys know how many people that you've enrolled that you didn't know before this? Is there a lot?
Oh my gosh.
A lot.
The majority.
Sure.
The majority.
Yes.
Like probably more than half, right?
Yeah.
Way more.
Yes.
Like
Way more
3
than
quarters. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's usually how it is. Like I listen to MLM Nation podcast all the time, and he always asks that question of the top leaders, like how many people did you know before you started? It's usually like 15, 25, 30%. Because it's never about who you know. It really is not about who you know. And if you understand how that actually works, it's like you really understand how networking works, it changes your whole approach to this. Like Matt said, it's not about trying to sell a product to your friends and family. It's about building a deep network with relationships all over the world, not just in your little community in Minnesota or wherever else you might be living. Networking, we're connected to everyone in the world by 6 levels or less. Like that's a scientific theory that we are connected to everyone in the world by 6 levels or less. And it's never about who you know, it's about who they know. So if you can just focus on, take your business aside of it and just switch your mind for a second, put your networking goggles on and take your business goggles off and take your money goggles off and realize my goal is to build as many relationships as I can and add value to that network the best way I can. It'll always reciprocate. It'll always come back to you in the form of enrollments, in the form of income through network marketing. But that's not the focus. And that's why Matt and Amanda have the network of, how many do you guys have in your downline?
Oh boy, almost 33,000, I think.
33,000 guys, because and they personally enrolled. Do you know how many personal enrollments you had to get there?
350.
350. That's how networking works. That is how networking works, because these guys, as you know, they're the amazing leaders that you have. They have no agenda. They are networking without an agenda, and they're adding value to people all over the world. And I know that Matt and Amanda have added value to thousands of people that aren't in that number 350 of the ones they've enrolled, because they're just focused on meeting new people everywhere they go, making connections, adding value, find their needs. Oh, after doing that, 10 times, now I found someone who needs isogenics. Boom, enrollment. Back to finding needs. And it's never about who you know, it's about who they don't know. And I learned that lesson so beautifully with Cody, with that story I shared you. Cody was technically 1, 2, 3, 4 people away from me. And he's been one of our fastest growing leaders. So just think about that. See if you can change your approach as you're going through this. And it makes you feel a lot better when you're prospecting, because you're not seeing people as dollar signs anymore. You're looking for people that you can just connect with, make a friend with, and help. And maybe you don't help them with isogenics, but in the long run, it'll always work out. It's kind of like karma in Buddhism, right? You get what you receive. It's in this business, like you give, you get. If you help enough people get what you want, you'll get everything you want. And the Bible says if you service to many leads to greatness. And Jim Rohn says, John F. Kennedy said, don't ask what you can do or what the people can do for you. Ask what you can do for the people. There's a million ways to say it, but just focus on adding value to the world, and it'll always come back.
And I would say for me, just like consistency. Tyler has to describe me as squirrely. So like my attention span is kind of everywhere a lot of the time, but I've really had to make sure that I was always remembering to be consistent in all of the important things in this business. So personal development is like a huge one, guys. If you don't know where to start, ask Matt and Amanda. They know where to start. They know exactly what you guys should be reading or listening to, and also being consistent with your follow-ups, and those daily methods of operation, which we can if you look up DMO 35553, you can find that on Google. But just being consistent with those actions, because I am enrolling people like in the last month, and one of them hit consultant in like 3 days, and she's halfway to crystal manager. We met online a year ago, and I've been prospecting her for a year, like literally a year. I've been messaging her like every month, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And she's keeping up with my social media, because I'm consistently posting about what I'm doing, about my team, about other people making money, about our products, about what my lifestyle looks like. And it's just really consistency. So being consistent in the message that you're trying to portray to people, being consistent in following up, being consistent in creating new connections. And it's not a lot. You don't have to work 4 hours every day if you don't have 4 hours. If you have 30 minutes a day to do it, be consistent for 30 minutes a day. If you have an hour a day to give, be consistent. If you have an hour every other day, be consistent with that hour. But just making sure that you're doing the income producing activities, which is finding new connections, inviting them to take a look at Isogenics, and enrolling them, and doing that over and over and over and over and over again. I would say that's probably like the biggest lesson I've learned, because you can't build your business any way else. I've taken my foot off the gas, and I thought I've stopped before, and it wrecks your business. So just being consistent with those income producing activities.
I love it. Consistency and add value, making connections. If you put those two together, consistently add value, making connections. And that's the name of the game. I love it. So everybody, let's blow up the chat. Thanking Tyler and Zoe. You guys dropped so much knowledge and so much just great information on us. And we're so grateful for you guys. Thanks so much for spending some time with us and sharing your expertise and what you guys are up to today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Good luck, everyone. This is a massive opportunity we have right now, guys. Take advantage of it. You guys are going to crush it.
Thanks, Tyler. Have a great night, guys.